Hello, welcome to A Week in My Life. Right now I'm reading Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. This is about a wedding planner and a florist, I believe. And I think it is a second chance romance. I'm only about 90 pages in so far. I really like it. Fun fact about me is that I used to work at a wedding dress store, and I did used to want to be a wedding planner. So I'm not sure if that's gonna help or hurt this book. But so far I really like it. I really like the female main character. I think her name is Emma. But this is my first Julie Soto book. I know a lot of people recommend her. I'm pretty sure that this is Kylo Ren fanfiction, Adam Driver fanfiction, because he looks a lot like Adam Driver. And I feel like I heard somebody say that Julie Soto writes Adam Driver fanfiction. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but he does look like Adam Driver. And I love Adam Driver, so hey, that's positive. So I'm listening to audiobooks while I'm at work, which may not be the most productive thing that I could do, but I'm hoping to get The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie? By Sherry Frankie. House of My Mother is a memoir of one of the children of the 8 Passengers YouTube channel. I've never watched this YouTube channel. I've just seen clips of it on TikTok. But basically it was a family vlog channel, and the mother, Ruby, was arrested for child abuse and child endangerment. And it's really interesting because I've kind of been seeing glimpses of this channel for years and years, and then, a bunch of stuff came out that she was really horrible to her children. So this is the memoir of her oldest daughter, Sherry. I'm very excited to read it. I'm going to use my Spotify audiobook hours to read it, but we'll see. It depends on how busy of a day I have, whether or not I listen to it. I'm not feeling particularly productive today because we went to a Grammys party last night, which was so fun. I'm a huge music industry fan, if that's the term. I love Taylor Swift, I love Beyonce, I love Sabrina Carpenter, I love Chappell Roan. We watched the Grammys, all of those people pretty much walked away with something. Taylor didn't win any awards, which, even though I am first and foremost a Swiftie, I'm wearing my Taylor Swift cardigan. Even though I'm first and foremost a Swiftie, I don't think that she necessarily... I love Tortured Poets. I don't want to say that she didn't deserve Album of the Year. I really don't want to say that. But I also really love Cowboy Carter. And Beyonce has never won Album of the Year. So I'm so excited that she finally won it. And I don't think that Fortnite was strong enough of a song to win Record of the Year or Song of the Year. People on Twitter are saying you're a bad Swiftie if you don't think Taylor should win every single award. I do think that she's had some really strong contenders in Song of the Year and Record of the Year, but Fortnite is not the strongest. And I hate saying that because I love Fortnite and I love Tortured Poets. But Cowboy Carter is really strong, and Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar won Record of the Year and Song of the Year, and I think it deserved both of those. But if I'm a horrible Swiftie, please let me know. But the Grammys didn't end until about 11 p.m. last night. That's way past my bedtime. I'm normally in bed at like 9 p.m. I'm normally cozied up with a book at like 6 p.m. So I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm not gonna work out. I'm not gonna do my dishes. That's a later Kylie problem. And that's really unfortunate for later Kylie because she's not gonna want to do anything either. So I'm gonna head to work and I will see you guys tonight whenever we finally get to sit down to read. I just got back from work, and while I was there, I listened to the audiobook of The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. The House of My Mother is about a family vlog channel called The 8 Passengers. If you're online very much, you've definitely heard of it. There was a huge scandal a year or two ago where the mother who ran the channel was arrested for child abuse and neglect. And it was a really horrifying case. So the oldest daughter, Sherry, came out with this memoir. The subject matter was really heavy. Definitely read the trigger warnings before you read the book. It was very illuminating that family vlogger YouTube channels are inherently evil, just the concept of them, because a child can't consent to being on screen. And I can't imagine how horrible it was to have your whole life documented like that. That doesn't really even include all of the horrible gaslighting and narcissistic tendencies and everything that she experienced from her mother. So the way that she set everything up and talked about it, it was very eloquently written. It was so sad, but hopeful. You can tell that Sherry really learned a lot from all of the behaviors of her mother, and she's just so happy that she and her siblings all have been freed from what sounded like a really horrible living condition. It was a fantastic audiobook. Sherry is the one who narrates it. I highly recommend it. It wasn't too long. It was really captivating and gripping. It feels kind of like weird to rate somebody's personal story about their life, and I don't feel like it really fits on the same scale as a fiction book. So if you guys have any thoughts on how nonfiction books should be rated, please let me know. I've really been reading a lot of nonfiction lately, which is really interesting because I used to only read maybe like 1 or 2 nonfiction a year, but I think I've read 5 or 6 this month. My whole goal for the year was to read 5 or 6 nonfiction. So that's really exciting, and I've been having to really, I talked in such an annoying falsetto right there. But I've been having a lot of fun reading memoirs. I also just read Britney Spears' memoirs. There's something about the authenticity of a memoir that really grips me and makes me so much more invested in the story. Not that I'm not invested in fiction books, but it's very different in a good way. And it's been good to get out of that rut. I've been having a kind of book hangover from The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. If you haven't read it, I really recommend, but you have to be in a really great headspace to read it. It's about 2 sisters in World War II and the different ways that they kind of fight for their freedom. They both live in France, and it ruined my life a lot, actually. But I did give it like 4.75 stars. It was so good, but I put the book down and I was like, I can't really imagine myself picking up a book ever again. Anyway, I'm about to sit down and eat dinner, and then I'm going to get back to reading Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I think I told you guys about that this morning. I'm hoping to finish Forget Me Not tonight because it's quite good and it feels like something that's going to move pretty quickly. If it takes me longer than 3 days to finish a book, there's a high chance that I'm not going to finish that book because I'm such a binge reader. I need to be able to finish a book in like 4 hours. So this is day 4 of this book for me just because I didn't have much time over the weekend. So I'm hoping to get it done tonight so I don't lose momentum, because that's how I get into book slumps and then I don't read anything for like 2 months. There were, I think, 3 months last year where I did not pick up a book a single time. And I really don't want to run into that this year because reading really just calms me down so much. And I'm a person who's constantly stressed out or anxious or worrying about something that I don't need to be worrying about. So I really need the relaxation that reading brings me. But I'm gonna eat my dinner and then I'm gonna finish Forget Me Not, and I'll give you guys an update then. It's been about 3 hours since the last time I updated you guys. I was hoping that I'd be able to read for that entire time, but I did have to work out and shower. So I did get to read about 100 more pages. I'm on page 240. I think there's like 330 some in here. So far, very good. I will say that I have 2 complaints with this book so far. There was almost no lead up to them first like hooking up for the first time. You know, like they were just talking and then they're making out, which isn't completely unrealistic, but then it's like, oh, now they're together all the time and they might be in love. You know, I just didn't feel it before that. Maybe I wasn't really paying that much attention, I guess, but it kind of felt like parts of it came out of nowhere. Also, and this is just a logistical thing, so I'm not really, I'm not criticizing Julie Soto and saying that the book is bad because of this, but they're gonna have this wedding reception in a ballet studio. But the ballet studio has been abandoned for like 10 years. So they're remodeling the ballet studio, but it's like you don't own the ballet studio, right? Like, they don't say that they own the ballet studio. Someone else owns the studio. Or am I wrong? Do they own the ballet studio? If they do, I have missed that completely. But not that that really matters to the plot at all. I'll tell you guys a little bit about the plot. Basically, Emma, her mom has been married like 16 times. And so she's a wedding planner because she used to help her mom plan weddings. But she doesn't believe that marriages actually work, which I'm not really sure if that logic is sound. But you know, I get it, kind of. But what's the guy's name? Elliot. Elliot is a real relationship guy, apparently. Also, it's Grumpy Sunshine, which is interesting. That the Grumpy is the relationship guy. You know? And we get, but we have both of their POVs, but his POV is from when they first were hooking up and getting to know each other, like 3 years before the actual present day events that she's narrating, because they're working on this huge like celebrity wedding together. But like, pretty good concept. I'm not gonna complain. I wanted a Valentine's Day rom-com kind of thing, and that's what I'm getting. So I can't really complain, you know? So yeah, that's my update on the book. I'm hoping to finish it tonight, knock out the last 100 pages before I go to bed. But I do have to do some cleaning. My apartment's kind of disgusting right now, and we have people coming to stay with us this weekend, and I haven't cleaned like anything. I normally do a reset every Sunday, but this Sunday I was tired again. I don't really have an excuse. I was excited for the Grammys. You know, whenever you have an event going on at night, and so you don't get anything done all day, and you feel the urge to get ready like 6 hours before your event, and you're like, I can't clean the house. I have the Grammys tonight. Like, I'm going to the Grammys. I just went to someone's couch, you know? I'm really excited for tomorrow because I'm getting my hair done. I'm dyeing my hair for the first time. I've gotten like highlights and balayages before, but I've never done a full-on dye. So I'm getting my hair colored red tomorrow, and I'm hoping to get some, I have like a real insecurity about my face. Like, I always feel like my face is huge. I don't know if that's in my head or not. But I want to get like some face framing pieces that like come right here, you know. But yeah, I'm going for like one of my cousins was calling it cherry cola red. I was like, sure. Sure, if that's what it's called. So those are the vibes. So I'm very excited for that tomorrow. I'm hoping that I'll be able to listen to an audiobook while I get my hair done, because I am so awkward about getting my hair done. I'm fearful, you know. I'm scared of the small talk. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but small talk literally drives me up a wall. And it's always like the same thing every time, because I've never found a hairstylist that I like, really. So it's just like the same thing every time. And it's nothing against them. I just feel so awkward that I'm like, I can never go back because I'm scared to see them ever again. So there's some insight into my psyche. Well, I have to clean my house and finish this book and get ready for bed. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, we're home. I've eaten dinner. I haven't opened my book at all. Can you tell it's red? That's what the whole rest of this vlog is gonna be. It's me being like, is it red? Are you sure? You can see how stained my skin is. But I don't mind, because it at least looks redder in the scalp because of the stain, right? Whenever I was outside earlier, it looked so red in the natural lighting. So I'm just hoping that it'll keep going with that. You know, my office doesn't even have windows. That's not relevant. Here's the thing is I really want to read, but I really need to clean. We have people who are coming to stay with us, like for the next 5 or 6 nights. I have different people coming to stay with us. It's just one of those weeks where everybody seems to be in town, which is fine. I don't mind having people over, except the apartment is kind of small. So I do mind that, you know, it kind of feels like we're all on top of each other. And I'm really stressed. Please let me know, is it boring that this vlog is mostly going to be me in my house, like for a whole week. Is that boring? Do I not go to enough places? Do you ever feel like you're kind of sick, but then it's like you have no evidence that you're sick, you know? I don't have a fever, I don't have a cough, I don't have a runny nose. I just feel ill. Like, does anybody ever feel like that? And I feel like I look ill, kind of. Regardless, I got ready for work anyway. Last time I got about 100 pages in to Throne of the Fallen. So here are the vibes. I immediately forgot everything that happened in this series. Camilla is a painter who owns a gallery that her father used to own. She's getting blackmailed by this Lord Vexley. Yes, by this Lord Vexley guy. So that's the female main character. The male main character is Envy, the Prince of Envy, but I guess his name is Envy too. He is taking part of some sort of game to win back something that was taken from him, but there has not been enough exposition on that for me to actually know what's going on. And that's been kind of my beef with this book so far. I probably would have been more than 100 pages in if I actually knew what was going on a little bit. You don't have to give it all away in the first 100 pages. But I just feel like there's maybe not enough going with the game to get me there. But I think he's some kind of like demon. It kind of reminds me of Phantasma, which was one of my favorites last year. So I'm gonna keep going. Obviously, I have been kind of enjoying it so far. They've got some okay banter starting, so everything's a little shrouded in mystery still. So I'm gonna keep it up with this today. I might listen to an audiobook at work today. I reread the first Hunger Games last month, and I have Catching Fire and Mockingjay in my Libby. So maybe I'll get to Catching Fire today. I think I also have some romances in my Libby. I think I have a few Emily Henry audiobooks, so I can listen to that too. I've been wanting to re-listen to Happy Place. I've been wanting to re-listen to Beach Read or Book Lovers, just because it's been so long since I've read an Emily Henry book. It's been since last April whenever I read Funny Story. I haven't reread any of her books. So maybe Book Lovers. The last time I read Book Lovers was in 2022 on a plane. I read it in one sitting on a plane. Tonight is every Wednesday. My best friend and I have Survivor night at her house, so I probably won't get much reading done tonight. The new season of Survivor doesn't come on until the end of this month, so we've been watching an old season because I've only seen new era Survivor. I hadn't ever seen any of the older seasons, so we're watching the Heroes versus Villains season, and this is the first time I've watched anything with Boston Rob in it, so it's been quite exciting for me. So if any of you are Survivor fans, please let me know, because I would love to be able to talk about Survivor on here. I'm kind of sitting here realizing that I need to do something with my hair and makeup if I'm gonna go to work. So I guess I'll do that. But I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, it's been a minute. Okay, I think the last time I talked to you was yesterday morning. So, didn't get like any reading done at all yesterday. Like I said, last night was my Survivor night. I have Survivor night every Wednesday night with my best friend. So, I did that for like 4 or 5 hours last night. I came home and read maybe like 2 pages of my book, and then I said, y'all, I want to go to bed. I'm meeting up with someone on Facebook Marketplace to buy some of the Throne of Glass books for dirt cheap. So I have to go do that. I have to finish my book. I have to work out, and I have to make dinner. So that's the list. It is 4 p.m. I did come home from work early, which is nice. I have a huge work event on Saturday, so I said, y'all, I have got to get some stuff done at home. So here I am. I feel like the hair is really herring. Okay. I've been trying to remember what I've talked to you guys about. I did start the audiobook for Book Lovers by Emily Henry today. I have already read that before. I didn't get very far into it. What I've noticed is that whenever I'm really stressed, I don't absorb anything that's happening in the audiobook. Even if I'm not busy doing things, just the stress alone takes me out of it a lot, which is why I've had such a hard time reading this week. This is going to be, I was going to call this vlog what I read in a week realistically, and it is realistic, but realistically I would have already finished like 4 books this week, so it's kind of frustrating that I've only finished 2. But it's not a race. It's not about that at all. And I've been enjoying the books that I've been reading, so that's what matters. I don't think I've really read that much of my books since the last time I talked to you guys. And I will say again, it really reminds me of Phantasma, and I think I like it, but I'm only about 1/4 of the way in. So we'll see. Filming for YouTube has really made me realize that all I wear are sweatshirts. Y'all have only seen me in sweatshirts in this video. However, I just got home from work. I pretty much changed like immediately after I get home from work because I don't want to wear my outside clothes inside. So also, I don't know if I've really been giving y'all an update on the hair. This is my Dyson hair. I feel like it gets better every time I do it, but see, the middle is uncurled. But I don't think it looks bad. It's holding up great. It's holding up much better than it did the last time that I curled it. So I think it looks great. I'm curious to see what it'll look like tomorrow. But I have a huge work event tomorrow, so it'll be what it'll be, and I'm gonna roll with it, I don't remember where I left you guys off yesterday. So yesterday before dinner, I went to a Facebook Marketplace meetup, and I bought Assassin's Blade and Throne of Glass. I've already read Assassin's Blade, but I haven't read any of the rest of the Throne of Glass series, and I have pretty much all of the rest of them on hold at the library. I do plan on buying them all eventually. I just didn't want to drop $80 at once to buy the whole set because I'm kind of cheap. So I'm going to be slowly collecting them off of Facebook Marketplace is my plan. So I think next week I might do a Throne of Glass reading vlog. Let me know if you guys would be into that. And then I read at least another 200 or 300 pages of Throne of the Fallen. I think I'm on page 412. I think there's 560 pages in this. Thoughts so far, no spoilers. I think I need more exposition. We talk a lot about the game they're playing, but I don't really understand the game. And I feel like the game isn't being explained to me. So I'd really love to have a better idea of the game. There was a twist that kind of got me just a little bit, but more so in the way that but the twist more so got me in the way that I felt that the book was telling me one thing and then another thing turned out to be true. And sometimes I feel like that is hacking a plot twist, I feel like that's not a true plot twist. See X coming because you were actively telling me Y. And if Y was true, X would not be true. In the way this narrative is set up, I had no reason to believe that the narrator would be lying or the narrator would be not giving us the whole truth. So I can't really decide if I'm a fan of that or not. I think I'm gonna have to finish the book to really know for sure. So I got home early from work, so I've got plenty of time to finish this book. I will have it done tonight. I've been saying this whole vlog that I need to clean the apartment, and I finally did last night. It's still not flawless or anything, but it is what it is. I kind of get into a bad habit where once we get to the last 6 months of our lease, I think we have less than that. We're moving to May. This is the last 3 months of our lease. So I'm like, well, there's no point in cleaning because I'm gonna have to pack everything. But girl, you're not moving for another 2.5 months. So that's why I haven't been as regular about cleaning. I also have just been really busy on the weekends. I normally try to clean the whole apartment on Sundays, but I just haven't been very consistent about that the last 2 Sundays. And this Sunday's the Super Bowl, so I can't imagine I'll be that consistent then either. Maybe once my apartment is clean, I can give you guys updates in places other than the same 3 places I've been giving you updates. Anyway, I'm gonna get to reading. Okay. Ignore the sounds of my brother and my dog running around. Oh, she's back. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I'm trying to film a video. Mulli. I finally finished Throne of the Fallen. It feels like it took me this whole week to finish it. I know it's only been a day or 2. I hate to report this, but I feel like I didn't get any of the exposition that was crucial to the plot until about 450 pages in. This book is 550 pages long, roughly. So that was really frustrating. It did remind me a lot of Phantasma, especially the fact that the ending was lackluster. We spent a good, 3 pages setting up for the next book, and it didn't really feel relevant for this at all. And I'm not particularly interested in the next book, I think. Overall, I think I would give it 3 stars. There are things that came up in the last 100 pages of the book that didn't feel relevant at all. It felt like the motivation and the plot were completely different. The 3rd act breakup was pointless and annoying. I would recommend this to people who like trial and games. If I had the chance to read it again, I don't think I would ever pick it up again. I don't think I would put this on my shelf. It was pretty mediocre. I felt like it had a pretty strong start, but the ending, I was just over it. By the end, it really was dragging for me. I want to say some nice things about it because I did like it. Like I gave it 3 stars, not 2 stars, you know? Like I would recommend it. I liked the main characters. I liked kind of the world, but I wish that we had more world building. I didn't feel like we got enough. So yeah, that is book 3 done this week. I have been listening to the audiobook of Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I have read that before, but I read it in one sitting. So whenever I think about it, I don't really remember any of the plot because I read it so quickly, and I read it on an airplane. It was kind of like a fever dream, I think. So I'm about 25% of the way through that. But I'm not sure that I'll finish it this week, which annoys me because I want to have that finished within this vlog. But I have a really busy day at work tomorrow, and on Sunday I just don't really see myself getting the opportunity to listen to an audiobook. But the way I remember it is Book Lovers was my favorite Emily Henry book before Funny Story. So I'm really interested to see if that still stands. So far, I really like the female main character. I can't remember her name. I think it's Nora. I really like her, and I remember really liking Charlie. That's the male main character. And I like the dynamics. I love anything that's like a small town romance, which I think is all of Emily Henry's books take place in a small town, like on vacation, right? I guess People We Meet on Vacation is in Palm Springs. Anyway, I'm excited to reread it. This is kind of my appetizer for Great Big Beautiful Life, which comes out in April. So now that I've finished Throne of the Fallen, I'm going to probably edit for the rest of the night. I've got to move on and be why you have to go? Okay, today is Sunday. I didn't vlog it all yesterday, didn't read it all yesterday. It was a pretty busy day for me. And that could be why I look disastrous today. But I just wanted to get on here and end this vlog. We read 3 books this week. House of My Mother by Sherry Franke, Forget Me Not by Julie Soto, and Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. I don't think I've ever attempted to say that out loud. So all in all, not my best reading week, only 3 books. I did start Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So 3.5, we'll say. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you want me to read next. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.